Halloween, everyone, and welcome to the final chapter of 3D horror cinema this year, where I will be joined by the great Ryan Cam, one of my Small Zero co-hosts, and we are going to look at the greatest Halloween movie of all time, Halloween Resurrection, a movie that did not kill the franchise to where they had to go to Rob Zombie to fix it. First off, this movie is directed by Rick Rosenthal, and is from a screenplay by Larry Brand, Sean Hood, and story by Larry Brand, and stars Busta Rhymes, Bianca Kalich, Thomas Ian Nichols, Ryan Merriman, Sean Patrick Thomas, Tyra Banks, and with a small cameo appearance that will piss everyone off by Jamie Lee Curtis. This movie is something, and I thought, well, who better than to help me review a movie that is quotable, bad, but also kind of fun to watch. None other than my co-host, who I do Small Zero, the Small Zero Gang, one of the third of the Small Zero Gang, Ryan Cam. Ryan, take it away, you talented son of a...
The Halloween movie franchise is proof that hell is indeed a bottomless pit, because just when you think can't go any lower, you go lower. The Halloween movies, there are some really good ones. The original, Halloween 2, I'd throw in there as well. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. I even like Halloween 4. But then you hit the bottom. Like, the bottom starts with Halloween 6. And then you get Halloween 2, directed by Rob Zombie. And then you get Halloween 2018. And then you get Halloween Kills. And then you get Halloween Ends. And then you get Halloween Resurrection. The new trilogy's not great, but at least it's competent compared to this. This movie's garbage, and make no mistake. This was the one that Jamie Lee Curtis said, after this, I'm done, I will take no more, and she was back like 16 years later. She is killed off screen. She falls to her death because that's an appropriate death for Laurie frickin' Strode, but I digress. Then we get to Busta Rhymes, who is intent on making dangertainment. And really my biggest problem with this movie is just how annoying it is. Like, it's not even that I hate this premise. Like, these people making this MTV-style television show, like kind of something like a Ghost Hunters kind of show. I think that sounds pretty neat. You know, have Michael Myers in there, like they're shooting it in the Myers home, and he's just there. And then go to town, make it a don't breathe kind of situation. This movie is just so annoying though. It just makes no it's I can't put into words how anger-inducing it is because the new trilogy, again, not great, definitely not good, but at least there was an attempt made to try and make this competent and overall like into something beyond itself. This was just seeing whoever was popular at the time, throwing it in there and sprinkling a little Michael Myers on there just to be safe. And it's just awful. Like Busta Rhymes just doing his thing. It's just like I said, it's just an annoying movie. It's very clear as to why this series died a death for at least 5 years, if you want to be generous. There's just nothing redeeming about this whatsoever. I'm sorry, there's not.
Thank you so much, Ryan. I appreciate your thoughts. Give this guy some love. You know, he always is like helping me out. If I literally ask him to watch a movie, or if I feel like torturing him with bad movies, he'll always do it because that's friendship. Give him a like and subscribe, comment in the links below. Thank you so much, Ryan. I'm so sorry I had to make you watch Halloween Resurrection. Now back onto my review. Halloween Resurrection is a movie where, of course, what happens is Michael Myers goes after Laurie Strode one more time, only this time he actually succeeds in killing her, then decides to go and settle down at his house in the Myers house. And then, of course, some people are basically doing like a Big Brother type situation where they're going to record themselves in the house on the internet so that way people can watch them. And then, of course, Michael Myers turns out to be there, and he's hunting and killing them one by one. on paper, this sounds cool. Like, Michael Myers hunting people down to Big Brother style. Awesome. But then, there's no cults. That's also a plus. But yeah, this movie is something. I mean, I saw, this was probably the first Halloween movie I've ever seen. I saw Halloween Resurrection first. Then I watched the original Halloween. And I will say, when you're a kid, this could scare you. But as an adult, I'm like, oh, this is just bad. It's not terrible, but it's just bad. There is some stuff in this movie that are so ridiculous. Like, one of the things that always upset me about this movie is Michael Myers kills off Laurie Strode in the first 5 minutes of the movie. I understand Jamie Lee Curtis don't want to do this anymore, but there's other ways to do this. But okay, but I understand she was under contract for one more picture. But damn, I'm like, do you really have to kill her off in the first 5 minutes? I guess maybe that was her condition. Okay, I won't try to do breach of contract. I'll do this movie if you kill me off in 5 minutes into the movie. By the way, she's on the poster too. You would think, I honestly think if you love Halloween H2O and you go into this because you see Laurie on the poster and you're like, she's only in the movie for 5 minutes. It's the equivalent of Terminator or Dark Fate, where you're like, oh, John Connor is in the movie. Oh, and you go watch the movie, like, oh, John Connor's only in the movie for 5 minutes. He gets killed. At least with Terminator, they had the decency not to put John Connor on the box set. They didn't have the decency, and so yeah. Imagine that though. This is literally, you kill an iconic character, and then on top of that, there's some stuff in this movie that really just irks me. Where it's all right. So Busta Rhymes dresses up like Michael Myers. Never mind the fact that Michael Myers' mask changes in every movie. This mask, I actually like this mask. I think it's more intimidating, but when I'm watching this movie, there's a scene where Busta Rhymes is dressed like Michael Myers to scare the kids. And I'm sitting there watching this, and all of a sudden, Michael Myers approaches, the real Michael Myers is behind him. And then he gets upset and starts, just trash-talking Michael Myers. And then even pops my head, does this, and just taps him aggressively on his head and tells him go in the shed with her. And then all of a sudden he just leaves. I'm like, that works. That worked. I'm like, oh my, Michael Myers would just kill you. Michael Myers would have killed you. I'm like, there's no way you would be on the ground dead. I can't believe that actually worked. I don't know if it was just because they couldn't kill Busta Rhymes off. Maybe that was the condition for him to sign on to the project. He doesn't want to die in the movie. But that makes no sense. At least have another character do that. Then Michael Myers killed him. This just made no sense for Busta Rhymes to actually do that. It was just such a shitty idea. And then on top of that, to add insult to injury, there's a scene where Michael Myers, Busta Rhymes is watching Kung Fu. He's watching a Bruce Lee film. And then all of a sudden, he's practicing it, while watching it. And I guess he's been watching the Bruce Lee movies for a good while now, because he literally beats the shit out of Michael Myers. Using Kung Fu. It works. Michael Myers gets his ass whooped. Michael Myers gets beat the hell up. He literally goes, wah, and then Job kicks him out of the door, and then Michael Myers goes, hangs by the telephone by a internet cable, and then cuts the line. I'm like, wow, that was in the movie. That was in the movie. And also, Michael, I guess, teleports back in the house, because there's no way Michael could have got back in the house within that long. And then on top of that, there's one-liners. One thing is the one-liner that everyone says, including myself, that I think is just so funny, where he kicks, Michael Myers goes into the shed, which I think the whole shed sequence is really good and well done. But I think the stupidest thing ever is when Busta Rhymes comes in and goes, "Trick or treat, motherfucker." I'm just it's so bad. That's such a bad thing. It's so bad, but it's so funny to watch. It's about as bad as Evil Dies Tonight. That's just how bad it is. I'm just saying, and on top of that, this is directed, by the way, by the same director of Halloween 2. And I guess, watching this now, I'm like, I don't know what happened. I guess maybe Carpenter really was hands-on and just was directing more scenes than he let on. Maybe it was a Poltergeist situation where, how in Poltergeist, Steven Spielberg directed mostly the movie and Tobe Hooper only directed 1 or 2 scenes. I think it might be that, a situation with Halloween 2. Carpenter directed most of the movie, and Rick Rossellini only directed 1 or 2 scenes, and then he's like, Halloween Resurrection, got my chance to finally direct the whole Halloween without Carpenter. Directs the movie, and you're like, oh shit, Carpenter was the one that better. maybe we were right. Maybe Carpenter was right, man. Maybe he was the one that was better for him to direct the movies than which, wow, this was just such a bad movie, but it's not as bad as Curse. Curse is like much worse. Like, if you put this in front of me, I'd rather watch this. But it's just like, on paper, who pitches this movie? You know, I will say the cast is pretty, not dumb. The cast is pretty great. Like, you got Kate Sackhoff in this movie. You got the girl from, I think Rules of Engagement, I think is what her from. And then you get on top of that, she's in, you got also the guy from American Pie, and then the guy from Cruel Intentions, and Busta Rhymes, and I honestly think, like, the characters I don't hate. I think Kate Sackhoff's great. They're all great in the movie. The acting is not bare. And then you also got the boy from Luck of the Irish. He was like just watching her on a screen, and apparently she's talking to a minor who apparently he's lying to her. So to be fair, it's not on her fault. But I'm still, and actually that's the weird subplot as well. And I will say I'm really glad this is the first time that a movie where a girl goes to the producer of a movie goes into his room. And he doesn't try to like hit on her or try to sexually assault her or come on in, do like a casting couch situation. I'm actually glad, that he actually just gives her she he comes in and goes, oh, he says, what's going on? He like grabs his shirt, puts it on, like, what's going on? And then like gives her some fatherly advice, and then she leaves. And then he pats himself on the back. And he's like, good on you, Freddie. Good on you. And then goes back watching Bruce Lee. Either the Bruce Lee movies were that good, and he was just like, I don't have no time to chase some tail. Or he really just is a nice guy and was like, you know what? Either way, I just think that is a really, unique thing I've never seen in a movie that I thought was interesting, because especially considering who produced these movies, because you're just like, oh my God, Harvey Weinstein produced a movie, and there's a scene where a girl goes to a producer's hotel room, and it doesn't end with him getting sexually assaulting her. That is actually a win in my book. I actually think that's great, considering how 2 years earlier, Scream 3 came out, and there was a whole subplot about that. And I just think that I'm actually glad that they did it this way, and everything, and made Freddy a nice guy, not one you were rooting for him to die. And I do like the whole basement scene where she finds out Michael Myers been living in the house and everything. And I do think that some of the kills are really well done. Like, you get killed by a tripod. Then when the dude literally, like Thomas Ian Nichols, gets killed, through the mirror, I thought that was a clever kill. And then also the kill where, this one dude just gets his, he gets his head crushed in. I thought those were great kills. The kills are really good in this movie. And I do think it gets creepier in the third act of the movie. And I do like the score for this movie. I think the score is a unique, brand new rendition of the Halloween theme that I really enjoy. I just think that really the story is just pretty, the story and some moments in the movie, the story's not bad, but some moments in the movie, the wackiness, I think it's just the direction of the movie is where I think mostly. I think it had a different director that wasn't, calling shots, that maybe like Steve Miner from the last movie, I think it wouldn't have been as wacky. But other than that, I really enjoyed, things about this movie. I just think it's just a disappointment. If I had to give this movie a score, I'm going to give it a C-. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ryan, for doing this for me. If you can, give him like and subscribe, and fall down the rabbit hole for more. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Sharpton for president, y'all. I'm outie.
Jesse Jackson for VP.